昨天你对我爱答不理，今天这就让你高攀不起，先把他弄到手，再踢了他，扬眉吐气。
A poor young man was looked down on by his girlfriend for being unsuccessful. She even found someone new and cruelly left him. The young man begged and pleaded, but the girlfriend wouldn't even look at him. Crushed by heartbreak, the guy decided to work hard and turn his life around. Eventually, he rose to success and glory. When the ex-girlfriend found out he had changed completely, she immediately ran back and begged to marry him. She swore she still loved only him, that she would marry no one else but him. What the young man did next was so satisfying, it made everyone cheer.
不是，我不知道你把我请过来干啥？我从山东大老远过来，你让我干啥来了？
我想跟他结婚，我是真的很喜欢他，我想和他在一起。
遇到什么问题了吗？
我不知道有什么问题，之前感情一直很好，然后后来大学毕业了，谈了很久的异地恋，我觉得我们感情还是很好，但是就是最近可能出了一些问题吧，然后他就不理我了。
你这一段时间你做了些啥？你不知道吗？
我做什么了？
要我说吗？
你不说我怎么知道呀？
The fair-skinned and beautiful young woman in front is Lily. The young man sitting across from her is Shiao Jia, her boyfriend of 4 years. According to Lily, they started dating in college. After several years of campus dating, their bond became very strong. Everyone thought they would naturally get married after graduation. But after graduating, due to job placements, they ended up in a long-distance relationship. Lily stayed in Zhengzhou, while Shiao Jia returned to Shandong to develop his career. It was the distance that began to tear their relationship apart.
你为什么不回我消息？你为什么不接电话呀？你为什么就甩下一句话你就这样呀？发生什么问题了？你告诉我呀。
会是因为距离的原因吗？
我觉得不是，我们刚开始刚分手，不是刚分手，是刚开始异地恋的时候，他总是会来找我，就每个月见3、4次，每一周见一次，后来他老说他忙，他说他要上课，他要考研，他说他时间很满，我理解他，我知道就是考研这个事情，考公这个事情什么的。
异地恋的时候就分手了是吧？
没有分手，
你刚才嘴里说的是分手。
他跟我说了分手，他单方面跟我提分手，我不知道为什么。
Lily said that at first, they thought distance wouldn't be a problem. Her boyfriend would travel hundreds of kilometers every week just to visit her. Every visit felt like a newlywed honeymoon, and the long distance didn't affect their relationship at all. But once her boyfriend said he wanted to prepare for the civil service exam, the once loving boyfriend became distant and unresponsive, and eventually even proposed a breakup. This made Lily feel incredibly wronged. She had given her best years to him, only to be abandoned now. She couldn't accept it no matter what. She was determined to get an explanation today, or she would never let it go. After hearing her story, the boyfriend became visibly emotional and loudly accused Lily. "Cut the act! You really don't know why I've been ignoring you." He even mocked her, saying she had the nerve to show up and embarrass herself. Clearly, Lily was hiding something, and the boyfriend was about to reveal her true colors on the spot.
他跟我说了分手，他单方面跟我提分手，我不知道为什么。他单方面跟我说了分手，然后我说，
所以你默认了？
我没有默认，我一直在问他为什么。我很生气这个事情。
我们人的潜意识啊，是直接会有自己的语言的表达的。
是我承认，我刚开始异地恋是没想过要走下去，但是他后来我就发现不是这样的。
你如果没有想一直跟我走下去，你跟我谈恋爱干什么？
我没有。
你刚才都在说到他来到郑州来找你，对吗？你有没有去找他？尤其在发现
很少，我可以说很少。
我在工作，我不可以随便请假的，我的老板会怼我的。
你不能请假，我就能请假了。
Shiao Jia got upset when Lily tried to play the victim. He said they were already broken up, so how could she be talking about marriage? His words shocked everyone on set. What Lily had described and what Shiao Jia was saying were two completely different stories. So who was lying? The host asked Lily directly, and seeing there was no turning back, she decided to come clean. Lily boldly said that when they first went long distance, she really had considered breaking up. Back then, her boyfriend had no job, no degree, no future, just a clueless poor boy. She said she was a beautiful young woman, and being with him gave her zero sense of security. The guests were puzzled and asked again. If she didn't think he was good enough, why did she come back now and try to be with him again? What Lily said next stunned everyone on set.
我在那个国企上班，
哟，好工作呀。文杰你呢？
我在备考公务员。
那现在是什么情况？考上了没？
考上了。
好事儿啊。
对呀，
这不挺好的吗？
对呀，你看这什么事情都好起来了，我觉得也该把结婚提上日程了吧。
那后来呢？你去山东去找他，你发现了什么？
Lily said her boyfriend hadn't had a decent job since graduating, which made her feel she couldn't settle down and marry him. She had the body and the looks. Finding a man with good conditions was a breeze. Being with him meant not only suffering the pain of a long-distance relationship, but also facing an uncertain future. Then Lily dropped her previously dismissive attitude and said, fortunately, her boyfriend was quite ambitious. He successfully got into graduate school and even passed the civil service exam. He was now successful and full of potential. That's why she made up her mind to marry him. Hearing this, her boyfriend immediately got angry and said, if you looked down on me from the start, why did you make me come visit you every week? Clearly, you were eating from one bowl while eyeing another. Lily responded just as loudly, saying she hadn't yet decided to break up with him at the time. She missed him too much to bear the distance, which is why she asked him to visit her every week. Then she changed the subject and said she had once taken the initiative to visit him, and it was during that surprise visit that she discovered some shocking secrets about her boyfriend. Then, Lily furiously revealed on the spot. When she traveled all the way to visit him, her boyfriend did something to her that was too humiliating to even speak about.
我去山东找他，你问他呀。你刚刚不是说的很厉害吗？你这会儿怎么不说了呀？
我说什么？你让我说什么？我干啥了？
我跟你讲哈，我去山东找他，我好不容易挑了一天，没有工作，然后假期，唯一的一个假期，我从郑州坐了3个小时的车去找他，我在家里等了他1个晚上，他没有出现。
谁家里？他家里。
我在他家里啊。
他不在，你怎么进去的？
Lily, visibly upset, said her boyfriend always blamed her for not taking the initiative to visit him. Seeing that he was under a lot of pressure studying for exams, she decided to apply for leave and go visit him. After getting the day off from her boss, she resolutely boarded the train to see him. When she arrived at his home with excitement and anticipation, she opened the door, only to find a cold, empty, and lifeless room. So she called him to tell him she was there. To her surprise, his phone was off the entire day. She waited from morning until night, but he never came home. Since she had only taken one day off, she had no choice but to leave early the next morning. Lily said she had made every effort to get time off to visit him, only to end up waiting in vain. She felt deeply hurt and disappointed.
他不在，你怎么进去的？
我知道密码的。
他不在家？
他不在家，我给他打电话发消息，他都不回。
然后一晚上也没有回家？
没有啊。
后来呢？你就自己回去了？
对啊，我第2天还要工作的，我只有那1天假期。
你等我1个晚上你就受不了了？每次我从山东过去找你也是我等你，你就等了我1次你就受不了了是吧？
我有不回你消息吗？
后面你给我打过电话吗？你给我聊过天吗？我考试那段时间你关心过我吗？我不需要有人在精神上支持我吗？
你跟我说了没有呀？
Her boyfriend responded with frustration, saying, You visited me once and now you're full of complaints? I visited you every week for so long after graduation and never said a word. He continued, Besides, this was a surprise visit. I had no idea you were coming. Then he directly criticized Lily for having no right to judge him. He said that ever since graduation, Lily had been hot and cold toward him, just because he didn't have a good job. At that time, he was under enormous pressure, juggling both graduate school and civil service exam prep, while also enduring the cold sarcasm of the woman he loved. But in the end, hard work paid off. He not only got into graduate school, but also passed the civil service exam. That was the only reason this always so superior girlfriend suddenly took the initiative to come see him. And as for that night he didn't come home, he had a valid reason. After he revealed the reason, the usually haughty and blaming Lily was completely caught off guard.
你能不能跟我说呀？你说呀。你有什么见不得人不敢说呀？
你连我干啥都不知道。
我不关心你，大哥，你朋友圈3天可见，我从哪儿关心你啊？
Her boyfriend apologized and said he truly hadn't expected Lily to come visit him. But as fate would have it, his mother suddenly fell ill that very day. He had rushed her to the hospital and stayed with her the whole night. Since it all happened so suddenly, he didn't have a phone charger, and his phone died. Lily immediately accused him of lying, saying she had clearly messaged him beforehand. Yet now he was acting like he didn't know anything, spinning a noble excuse that sounded like pure nonsense. She added, "If your phone was dead, how did you even pay hospital bills?" She said he was clearly trying to hide something shameful by turning off his phone and avoiding her on purpose. Enraged, she declared that she must get to the bottom of this today. Seeing Lily getting more and more furious, Shiao Jia just sat calmly across from her. This made the host suspicious and ask, "Since your girlfriend is so desperate to understand what happened, can't you at least give her an explanation? Otherwise the misunderstanding will only get worse and affect your relationship." Shiao Jia replied calmly, without the slightest emotion, "We're already broken up. I don't owe her an explanation. She can think whatever she wants." This attitude infuriated Lily even more.
哦，你好帅，你很男人是不是？
文姐，那你为什么之后不跟他解释？
有啥好解释的？都分手了还解释啥呀？
没有分手，是他说的，我没有同意，这不算分手。你觉得两个人之间的感情？
我觉得咱俩不合适了。
怎么不合适？
你家里那件事还让我说吗？
Seeing that her once obedient boyfriend was now treating her so coldly, Lily became agitated and furiously called him an irresponsible man. She then said she didn't accept his so-called breakup. She had never lowered herself like this before, but now she was practically begging him to get back together, and he had the nerve to act superior. At this point, the host finally saw the full picture. Lily's so-called visit to her boyfriend was actually a last-ditch effort after he had already proposed a breakup. The relationship had reached a point where it couldn't be saved. That's when Lily made her first ever move to visit him. This clearly showed just how little she had cared for Shiao Jia before. Hearing this, Lily quickly defended herself, admitting that she had indeed gone too far in the past and now realized it was her fault. When her boyfriend was under intense pressure, she failed to support him like a caring girlfriend should. Now she had truly come to realize her mistake, which was why she took the initiative to request time off, apologize, and try to reconcile. Now that her boyfriend was successful, well-educated, and held a stable job, she had made up her mind to marry him and end their painful long-distance relationship. After listening to everything Lily had to say, Shiao Jia refused her on the spot. He then said, "Marriage isn't something you get to decide on your own." With a look of contempt, he reminded Lily not to forget how her parents acted when he first proposed. What exactly did Lily's parents do back then that made Shiao Jia unmoved, even now, by the proposal from the woman he once loved? Shiao Jia then revealed a hidden truth that had never been spoken before.
你说你现在想跟我结婚？
对呀。
之前干啥去了？我啥也没有的时候，他就看不上我，包括他家里也看不上我。
你说清楚，我怎么看不上你了？
那不是你妈口口声声说不让你跟我在一起的时候了，是吧？我之前没考上公务员的时候，你妈干啥去了？
再说我妈有什么错误？我们家就有一个女儿，好不好？你能不能负点责呀？
Even when his beloved confessed her feelings and asked for marriage, Shiao Jia remained unmoved. With a look of displeasure, he said he would never forget how her parents looked down on him when he earnestly proposed to her. Now that his career was on track, with a good degree and a good job, her parents suddenly changed their tune and happily approved. What a shameless display of snobbery. After hearing her boyfriend's reason for rejecting her proposal, Lily justified herself confidently. She said she was her parents' only precious daughter. Of course, the elderly couple wanted her to marry someone with good conditions. Back then he had nothing at all, so her parents opposed the marriage, and that was only natural. But now he had everything they used to object to: a job, a degree. Those issues were gone. So naturally, her parents were now happy to approve the wedding. Hearing this, her boyfriend was visibly annoyed and said coldly, "If you knew this would happen, why did you look down on me back then? Now that I'm successful, you suddenly approve of me? Save it." Then, Shiao Jia dropped another bombshell. His ex-girlfriend had once done something truly shameful. It was that very thing that made him decide, once and for all, to break up with her.
我啥也没有的时候，他就看不上我，包括他家里也看不上我。
后来呢？
他就太世俗了，我觉得。
怎么讲？
很失礼啊。
怎么讲？
Her boyfriend said that when they were in college, Lily had been sweet, enthusiastic, and kind. But after graduation, she changed completely, becoming superficial and obsessed with material things. Before they graduated, a few close friends planned a farewell dinner, knowing it would be hard to get together again after everyone went their separate ways. Everyone took the gathering seriously, but Lily embarrassed him in front of all his friends. After hearing what her boyfriend said, Lily quickly defended herself, saying she never looked down on anyone. She just didn't like that kind of atmosphere. She asked, "Just because of that you're breaking up with me? That's so unfair." Then she accused him of breaking up only because he had changed and no longer thought she was good enough. That's why he was finding so many excuses not to marry her. After hearing her response, the guests in the studio couldn't take it anymore. They spoke up to call her out.
你为什么今天要死乞白赖的跟他结婚？我想不清楚，你为什么非他不可？
哎，老师，你养条狗，你都会有感情吧？
One of the guest commentators, visibly emotional, said that Shiao Jia's success today wouldn't have happened without Lily pushing him along the way. He said Shiao Jia shouldn't be mad at Lily. On the contrary, he should be grateful to her. It was precisely because of her that he once felt inferior. That's what pushed him to endure hardship and finally achieve success. Yesterday, she ignored him like he was nothing. Today, he's far beyond her reach. After hearing those words, Lily was finally overcome with shame and agreed to break up with Shiao Jia.
Perhaps the most pitiful thing isn't that Lily came back, but that she acted like it was only natural. Back then, she despised Shiao Jia for having nothing, and left him without hesitation. Now that he's successful, a civil servant that everyone admires, she puts on an air of, "I'll marry no one but you," as if all her past coldness and contempt never happened. But life is cruel that way. When you look down on someone, you also miss the most important part of their journey. Lily is not the first, nor will she be the last, to waver in love because of reality. But is love truly a matter of sincere companionship, or just a gamble for better odds? This story gives each of us a powerful reminder. And Shiao Jia's choice wasn't just a rejection. It was a farewell to the old, insecure version of himself who had once been looked down upon. He wasn't swayed by the sugar-coated offer of reconciliation. Instead, with silence, he told the world, true growth is becoming the kind of person they regret losing and never needing them again. Do you think Shiao Jia should forgive the girlfriend who once looked down on him and accept her proposal? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.